first graders, it's me again, Mrs. Varay, and I wanted to update you on the caterpillars that I showed you earlier in this week. They're already so much bigger than they were before, and I got so many great pictures of butterflies because yes, that's right, caterpillars metamorphosize into butterflies. So like I told you before on my last video, caterpillars are kind of like the babies. They are the second stage. The first stage of caterpillars and butterflies is an egg, and the second is the caterpillar. And so we're going to read Eric Carle's The Very Hungry Caterpillar because it goes through all the stages of a caterpillar and butterfly's life cycle. So I know you've heard this story. You probably have heard this story before, but it's a cute one, and it shows just how much caterpillars eat and eat and eat to grow so big so fast. So here we go. The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There's the little caterpillar egg, or butterfly egg. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar.
I see the sun has a smiley face.
He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. There he is, coming out of the plums. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, oh my goodness, look at all this food. He ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. You can see the holes where he ate through the leaf. Now, he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big fat caterpillar. He built a small house called in our family we say chrysalis, called a chrysalis around himself. He stayed inside more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the chrysalis, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. So this book shows us the whole life cycle of caterpillars and butterflies. And so right here I have this picture that shows the first stage is an egg. So do you remember when in the story it says, in the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf? Well, that's this. Here's the little eggs, and you can see the leaves. Each one of those eggs is going to hatch into a caterpillar. So it says butterflies begin as tiny eggs. The eggs are usually laid on plant leaves or stems. The shape of the egg depends on the type of butterfly. A caterpillar grows inside the egg until it's ready to emerge. And then now, the caterpillars that we have, that I showed you earlier, are the second stage, the larva. And so it says the caterpillar chews through its eggshell and comes out into the world. It will usually keep eating the plant the egg was laid on. So it's important for the mother butterflies to choose a plant their offspring will like to eat. Caterpillars eat a lot, grow quickly, and molt or shed their exoskeletons multiple times until they're ready for the next stage. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that word exoskeleton in just a minute. So then, the stage 3 is the pupa, the chrysalis. And caterpillars don't make cocoons. They shed their skin one last time, and it's called a chrysalis. So that's why when I read the book, I say chrysalis instead. So stage 3 is called a pupa or chrysalis. When a caterpillar reaches its full size, it finds a safe place on the plant to hang upside down. Then it sheds its exoskeleton one more time and becomes a chrysalis as the outer surface hardens for protection inside the hardened chrysalis. The pupa cells break down and reorganize into an adult butterfly. And it includes their wings, because you can see here, a caterpillar doesn't have wings. But then when it grows into an adult, it does. So stage 4, adult. Once the butterfly has fully transformed, it emerges from the chrysalis and waits for its wings to unfold and dry off. Then it takes flight as a new butterfly. So our caterpillars right now are in their second stage. They're the larvae, and here they are. Here's this one. So it's already so much bigger than when I showed you even just a few days ago. And then if you look down into the bottom, there's the other two. And if you look closely, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but there's what looks kind of like fuzz balls. And at first, you can see it moving down there. At first I thought it was just its droppings, you know, when we eat and we have to go to the bathroom. But those little black specks, let's see if I can find it. Not that you guys really see, there's that tiny little black speck there. That's its poop. But down at the bottom are bigger, fluffier black balls, and oh, there's one, you can kind of see it. And that is their skin that they shed. So when they molt or their skin comes off, that's what it looks like. So if you can think about when your clothes grow too big for you and you have to buy newer, bigger clothes or bigger shoes, we get new clothes and shoes. But these guys, when they grow too big for their skin, it comes off, and they have grown and they have bigger skin for the next time until they grow and need to shed it all again. So I was telling you about that cool word called exoskeleton. Exo means outside. Insects have exoskeletons. That means that their skeleton or hard part of their body is on the outside. Humans and other mammals, we have endoskeletons. Endoskeleton means that our skeleton or our bones are on the inside. So that's what keeps us standing straight up. And so what I wanted to show you now are the different body parts of insects. In insects, we think of bugs. And sometimes when we think of bugs, we think of worms, and we think of bees, and we think of flies, and maybe even if you've seen potato bugs or centipedes, we all call those bugs, but not all of them are insects. And an insect has special body parts that makes them be considered an insect. And I will show you on my computer. This is the diagram of an ant. And insects have 3 big main parts of their body. The top one is their head. Just like us, we all have a head. But then this middle part right here is called their thorax. And the thorax is where their legs are attached. And if it's an insect that has wings, that's where its wings are attached. So if an animal is an insect, it has to have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And then insects only have 6 legs. If you see a bug that has more than 6 legs, like this guy here, it's a bug, but it's not an insect because that one has lots more legs than what you need to be considered to be an insect. So back to the ant. There's the head, thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. They also have antennae and eyes. So let's look at the, there's the butterfly, but I wanted to show you the caterpillar first. So sometimes when we look at caterpillars, we notice that they have all those little legs. But really, their actual, it says true legs, are those ones here. There's 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So it shows you the labels for a caterpillar. So here's the head right there, the thorax, the middle part of the body, and then the abdomen. So the legs always come from the thorax. But you see these little legs here? They're called prolegs. So they're not really real legs. They're just kind of like stabilizers for when they're climbing. So you can see the body parts of the caterpillar, and then we'll go to the butterfly that I showed you before. So here's the butterfly. So after it is a caterpillar and it goes into its chrysalis, it emerges as a butterfly. So you can see here, it still has the head, it still has a thorax, and it still has an abdomen. But the legs come out of the thorax and the wings come from the thorax as well, and then the abdomen. So those are all the different parts of caterpillars and butterflies, and there were a couple more insects I wanted to show you. So I showed you that one. Oh, and look, here's a worm. Worms are not insects because they don't have legs, and they don't have 3 separate body parts. So a worm can't be an insect. Oh, and then here's the little potato bug. Some people call them roly-polies. They also have lots and lots of little legs, and you can see doesn't have a distinct head, thorax, and abdomen. It's segmented and it has little shell hard parts, but it's not just like what you would expect from an insect. So, and I showed you the centipede right there. Lots of legs, so not an insect. So what I want you to remember from this is caterpillars and butterflies and all other insects have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. They have 6 legs. And there's the caterpillars one more time. I want you to think of, for the next time I come back and we talk more about insects and I show you the caterpillars again, I want you to think about what are some other insects that you know. What are some bugs that have a head, a thorax, an abdomen, 6 legs, and wings? Usually when insects have wings, they have 2 pairs, so they have 4 wings usually. So I want you to think about what are some other insects that you know of, and we'll talk about that next time. You can send me an email or draw me a picture again of insects that you know of. Thank you guys, and I hope you're having an awesome time at home. As spring gets nicer, as our weather gets nicer and you guys can make it outside, try to see if you can find some insects too. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.